Okay, so sorry, black women. I'm back live. They just interrupted my live like that. I guess they got upset because I was talking about racism in this country and what would happen if they split the ticket down the Democratic Party like that, and how they know that if people are given a chance, white racist people and all other people who are racist and anti-black, if they're given the choice of voting for a Klansman who is Trump versus the vice president Kamala Harris, they're going to choose Trump over her because they just are racially prejudiced, and that is the only way around it. Like, that's the whole reason why, he decided that he was supposedly going to stay there till October. I mean, sorry, to November. But in case he doesn't, I did see you saying that you needed to get your passport, but there's really no reason to run. Like, as black people in this country, we don't need to be running anywhere. This is our country. We need to stay here and fight to make life in this country better for us the same way our foreparents did. Because believe me, no matter where you go in this country or this world, America influences the anti-blackness. So you're not going to escape it. And for all those people telling you that all these places like Mexico and wherever else, all of these expat lives are so great, that's a lie. That is a lie. Hey, Emin, I'm glad you're back. They had just interrupted my live because they didn't like me telling y'all the truth about Trump and Kamala Harris. Like, hopefully that's not true because we do know that newspapers lie all the time on purpose. Because the whole point is, right now, this is a tug of war for white supremacy. If Trump gets into office, right, and even if he does step down and Kamala Harris is temporarily placed in as the president, it's up to black women and all other women in this country who want to retain their rights and who want to remain free in the new world to vote for her. Because if you vote for Trump in any way, you're going to lose every right that you have. Like, I don't understand why so many black women are even entertaining, or women in general, voting for him when he's already taken away abortion rights. He's already put up for you Project 2025.org and Agenda 47. And for those of you who still think that that shit is a game and that they really don't hate women, you're going to find out the hard way. It's not a fucking game, and it's too easy to win the game. It doesn't matter if Biden steps down. If he steps down, Kamala is supposed to legally step into his place, right? If she steps into his place, then we just have to rally and cry for the fact that we want her in November and we literally vote for her. If all of us vote for her, there are more women in this country than dudes. And it is a fact that single women vote democratically and vote more for women's rights than married women do. Most married women tend to vote more Republican when they're married. So, since there's more women, you could actually carry the vote in November if they all just voted for Kamala if she has to step up. If you vote for anybody else that they put in her place, you don't know what their politics are. At least with her, you know that she's going to keep the same line of administration that he did because she's been working with him and carrying it out all this time as the vice president. It's not a crisis. We just have to think and do what's best for women and stop worrying about everybody else. She said, I was just saying maybe we could get somewhere safe with the passports, but I know anti blackness is global. It's nowhere safe. They have made this world where there's nowhere for you to run. They've made everybody anti black, including Africans. Look at all the African people always talking shit about African Americans on this fucking internet. Like, I've done about maybe 2 or 3 videos already of these people coming at us for no reason besides jealousy and wanting to be us because they don't have enough wherewithal to take over their own countries and make them better the way that they should. They have everything that everybody in this world needs, but yet they worrying about what a pocket of African Americans are doing in America who are here by no choice of their own. Like, people don't think rationally. And man, she says, It's a lot of black folks saying they won't vote, period, because the Democrats don't ever give tangibles to um, American blocks. It's crazy out here. Well, that's the stupidest thing in the world to do. Because when you don't vote, you are automatically giving your the people who hate you and the people who want to hurt you the absolute win. When you do not vote, you're throwing away your life because your vote is the opportunity to say no to people like Donald Trump. But when you sit at home and you just say, "Oh, I'm not voting for anybody because you," let's be real about this part right here. Most black people who are saying that, they don't have the first clue about how politics works in America. They don't even know what either one of the administrations have done or not done for black people. They don't know how to go on Senate.gov and read the bills that turned into laws and what and how every representative voted on black people's behalf. They don't know how. They don't care and they don't do it. The same thing with Congress.gov. They don't go into Congress.gov and look and see how every one of those Congress people voted for situations that concern black people. They don't know how and they don't care. They don't do the same for the assembly of the state they live in. I live in New York, so it's NewYorkAssembly.gov. Wherever you live, it's Texas Assembly, whatever assembly, right? They don't go on there and see how these what these people are doing. They don't go and watch what they voted for, what bills they passed, what they've already accomplished, what they're planning. They don't do none of that. All they do is come on the internet and talk shit about stuff they don't know. But to sit down and not vote is the stupidest fucking thing you could do, because that is definitely a vote for Trump. Because if you would have voted with sense in your head, you would have voted for democracy, which is what the Democrats are supposed to represent. The Republicans represent conservatism, evangelicalism. They represent Project2025.org. They represent women losing all rights in existence known to man currently. They represent black people not having a future. They represent complete deportation for everybody in America who's not a real citizen born here. So if you want to play those games, you go ahead and throw your life away. But it's real simple. If they put Harris up, whether you like her or not, vote her in, make her the president. She's going to carry out and continue the same things Biden was doing. So work on housing, work on employment, work on getting rid of educational debt. She's going to do all of that. And then with her, because she's younger and she's way more feistier and she doesn't like back down to these white men, she should be the main candidate all the black people and women stand behind, because she really gives those white racist motherfuckers hell. She don't be playing with them. And she represents the majority of women today. Like, I don't even think, I don't know if she has kids, but I know she's a Asian black woman married to a white man. She believes in women's rights. She has, have y'all seen the speeches that she gave at her almanata, however you say that word, almanata, at the college? Like, she went back to her HBCU. She gave a big speech. She went there to rally the black women, to get all the black women that are a part of that sisterhood to vote Democratic and to spread the word and to let black women know, like, this literally, black women and other women, this literally is your last chance at being recognized as a woman in this world. Now, let me tell y'all something that I'm probably sure no one has ever known about America. Did you know that women are not even considered people in America? That the only people considered real citizens and anybody who has the right to the laws of this country is white men? Did you know that? That's a reality for your ass. Like, when you actually read the Constitution, everything in that Constitution is written for white males only. So that should make everybody understand that this racist white dude becoming president would not be a good move. It would not. Um, laugh a lot. A lot of them probably don't even watch C-SPAN. They don't watch C-SPAN. They don't watch anything, MN. They don't watch anything, but they listen to people on TikTok, YouTube, and they listen to dumbass divestors like DZ. who is a very vile black woman that does not like black women at all. She really hates black men, and she's always telling black women to vote against their best interests and vote for Republicans because she claims that she's married to a very wealthy white man. I doubt that, but this is what she claims. And she's always telling black women to vote against their black interests. And I think that a lot of women, because you know how these black women are, they're very easily persuaded and hypnotized by any black woman that has a huge platform with a fancy introduction, very nice display. The symmetry of the video is pretty, and then the closing is great. They like that. They like the polished look. But what they sometimes forget is that all of these people who are polished and well put together, they're not very well intentioned. Like a lot of it is again coming on here for their own benefit and to see you fucked up as much as possible. And they actually think that these white people that they are in proximity to are going to be able to save them. And we know as black women, those of us that have sense, that these black white people don't protect you, even when they're married to you. They will let all these other white people throw you under the bus. I guess people don't realize that Trump is like, he's not for LGBT. He's not for children making choices about their own sexuality. I'm not for that shit either. But I don't have a problem with people who have the right to being gay and calling themselves whatever they want, because that's their right to do whatever the fuck they want with themselves. But they don't have the right to do shit to me. He's not for none of that. He's not for interracial marriages. So he told you that he in 2025 he's going to do away with miscegenation laws. He's going to do away with everything that people today take for granted, like their life is just wonderful. So for all those black dudes that love white women and other women, you're going to go to jail now if those are your wives. And I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with all these interracial children, but they don't want that. And they're going to be making laws against that. So I guess they're going to be confiscating your children. But these are the things that I don't think people are taking as a reality. They're not fucking playing with you. They're trying to take you back to 1890, where white people were walking and riding in cars and trains and buses, and your ass is on the foot, on the sidewalk, barefoot, and getting popped in the head with a fucking stick anytime. Did any of y'all see 12 Years a Slave, or better yet, the other one is a better depiction of what the time they want to go back to is what is that shit called? Birth of a Nation, where the black man did it, not the first film with the white people, but the second one, Birth of a Nation, with that black dude that was married to that white lady, and his career basically went in the fucking shithole after that movie. Let me see. MM, what you saying? You saying basically we'll return the Civil Rights Act of 1965. You hit nope. We will return to the Civil Rights Act of 1890. 65 is too much rights for you. They want you to be dealing with respectability politics and the fact that you don't have a right to own property, go to school, work a job, or the right to vote. They're not fucking playing with you. At least by 1965, you did have the right to vote. You just were not allowed to vote in many places. Excuse me, let me correct that again. Black males were allowed to vote, not black women or other women. No, not true. White women got the right to vote in 1919, right? 19th Amendment. Black women were not allowed to vote until 1965 and actually began voting, I think, in like 1970 or 69. We didn't vote the same year we were allowed. It was like a year or two after. So, right, Nat Turner. That's the character that the movie symbolized, but the actual actor, his name was something else. He's the one that made the movie, is who I'm talking about. But maybe y'all should Google the Civil Rights Act of 1890 so y'all can see what I'm talking about. It was not pretty, baby. It was not pretty. Basically, we were like people roaming America with sacks on our backs with the clothes and the little bit of food that we had and pallets to sleep on the ground with. And that's how we lived throughout America. And you got to remember, They make laws for a reason. So they just recently passed laws to say that homelessness is a crime, right? So they're going to, if he wins and they take us back to 1890 and you're not allowed to live the way you live now, you're going to be literally homeless, right? And begging in the street. When you're begging in the street, now you're going to be locked up and now you're going to become a fucking victim of the plantation and the penitentiary I guess like system of the wheel, where you're going to be literally lent out to be a slave working anywhere in America they want you to, the way they used to do back in the chain gang, because it's legal now. When they allowed these people to make being homeless a crime, that is going to sweep the entire nation. So that whoever is homeless, you're going to be subject to be going to prison where you legally can be a slave because of the 13th Amendment, and they're going to treat you as such. And they're gonna grab up all the black people, all the Hispanic people, all the Asian people, all non-whites, and they're gonna do it to us. They're not gonna do it to rich white people. So this is why it's very important to really understand and know what's going on, because they're not gonna be playing with anybody who's not rich and white. But let these other people tell it because they're not black. They think they got it made. They're gonna find out they very, very wrong. Nate Parker, right? Played in, yes, exactly. Black women boycotted his movie in part because he was accused of raping a white woman because he had a white wife. All right, I don't care why they boycotted it. I'm just saying, like, he's an asshole anyway, because I don't respect no black men that are married to white women. I'm sorry, I just don't respect them, because with the amount of amazing black women there are in this world, there's no reason for you to do that. So you get no respect from me. You can do what you want to do, but you don't get respect from me. So, but anyway, um, the point I was talking about with that movie was, in the beginning of the movie, there's a carriage ride where Nat is driving his master or somebody somewhere, I think to the auction block, right? And as he's driving down the road, he's looking on the road and he sees a body up ahead. And the body up ahead is like curled up all on the ground, dead. And when the carriage pulls up close to the black man's body that's laying in the road dead, you could see from the damage done to the man's head that he was hit in the head with some type of blunt instrument that bust the top of his head open. And the movie starts out graphically showing you just how savage and brutal and barbaric white people were to black people during that time, how they would just walk up to black people and kill them recklessly and leave them right dead in the street. And people were so desensitized to them killing and brutalizing black women, black males, and children any way they wanted, that the movie was showing you how the road was lined with like all these dead people intermittently scattered everywhere they had to drive. Like everywhere he was going in the cart that day in the carriage, it was like either a dead woman on the side of the road or a dead kid somewhere or a dead dude with his head busted open. Like it was crazy. And it was to symbolize to you how much the hatred for you is so real that they would just walk up to you and kill you and then leave you there to let everybody see that they destroyed you like that. And like this is the shit that I don't think like people and even black people really understand about how crazy and fucking demonic America is to black people. Like I really don't think black people and other people understand that. Like they really hate you with a hate that you can't understand and that you can't define. Because they didn't even do that to the so-called Native Americans who they brought here. And um, the other people that they brought from England that were also indentured servants, they mostly only did that to the Africans they brought here that later became us. So it's like, I really don't think black people, and especially black women, really, really fucking grasp that, because with people like those divestors I was talking about that one particular group over there on DZ's panel, they're always bigging up fucking white men. And they're always trying to get white women to see these motherfuckers as their saviors. And it's like, they try to act like that was a long time ago. It was not. The reason they keep saying that was 150 years ago is because they keep going by the date of the Emancipation Proclamation, right? When we all know, those of us that know our own history, and that can even Google, slavery was still going on in America up to fucking 1960. There was still pockets of America where black people were being held on white people's property and being worked to death. There is a movie that tells the true life of a black woman and her whole family that was kept captive on a plantation in Louisiana. The movie is called Alice. It and Kiki Palmer and what's his name, Common, play in this movie. Kiki Palmer is Alice, and then if you look Google and research, there was a black man who I think was the very last slave they found being held in America in North Carolina or somewhere. Just Google it and you'll see. Like this man was the last person of his family that these white people owned, and they literally worked this man to death to the part where his body had got so deformed from rheumatoid arthritis that he could not move his own body no more. And so this is the reality of how much these people hate black people in America. So if you vote for these people thinking that, oh, that was a long time ago, 1960 was not a long time ago. It was not. And that is one of the last, as I say, documented. So I'm quite sure there's a lot of undocumented cases out here too. This is why you got to know your history, because white people love to play semantics games, and they love to try to take reality and twist it to make it seem like what you're experiencing is not real. Remember how they didn't want to deal with critical race theory? And then they changed the brutalities of slavery about what I just told you about Nat Turner and that movie that was made, Birth of a Nation, and how they was, the first opening of the movie was him and his carriage driving down the road and all the dead bodies on the side of the road, of how people just fucking killed these black people and just threw them there like they were nothing. Now all this stuff is depicted in how they try to redirect and readdress and whitewash real history. They didn't want to deal with racial critical race theory, because they claimed they didn't want white kids to feel shamed. There's nothing to feel shame in the fact. When they kick out statistics about black males being more criminally active than everybody else, that's a motherfucking fact. That doesn't shame me, because I know it's a fact. It don't shame black males who are honest with themselves and can analyze themselves. You just got to do better. But when it comes to them and black people realizing just how the way they feel about you is never going to change, it seems like that's the hardest thing in the world for black people to understand and to fight for their real rights and literally finish what the civil rights started out. Like, we never obtained our goal with the civil rights. The civil rights wasn't just for us to be able to be integrated with white people. It was for us to be able to live in this country and have the same enfranchisement as white people and not be terrorized the way that we were being terrorized and illegally criminalized and victimized by the prison system. So it's like we have never reached our goal, and then you have nobody out here speaking for the things that are happening to black women, especially today, or the black community. Like, where's Farrakhan? Where's Al Sharpton? Is Jesse Jackson still alive? Like, what the fuck? Where are these people? Where are all these people? Like, you saw the other day, the congresswoman, I think it was, the black lady died from Texas. I forget her name right now. Y'all seen the postings of her passing of cancer, right? That black lady was one of the old freedom fighters. Whether you liked her or not, she was going to work every day fighting for black women's rights and fighting for black people's inclusion into enfranchisement in America. Now, all these people that are dying away, and the few people that you have standing up for us, they're not being backed by the people. The people have to put their vote behind the people who are helping us, and those people are not Democrats. You can listen to them talk. Some of y'all should take the time to go over to Politics by Tabitha on YouTube or TikTok, either one. Watch a lot of the clips where she actually has inserted the Republicans speaking from their own mouths. And you listen to the anti-blackness, the black people hate. the things they say about how they want to do things to different groups of people. Go listen to it for yourself so that you can see this is not a joke, but it's easily remedied. You just let them run a fucking muck in the news, acting stupid. Let them go full fuckery, right? But when November comes, I don't care if you like Joe Biden. I don't care if you like Kamala Harris. If you like justice and you like to retain your rights, then when you go to vote, you vote Democratic for everybody. Get rid of all those racist judges that Trump has put in there. Don't allow the people to get in office to appoint the judges to the Supreme Court that will take Clarence Thomas's place, who will be retiring soon, and Alito. He wants to replace those two races with two younger races. You can't allow it. That's why you got to take your ass to vote. When you go vote, you put in all Democratic people. There are no Republicans to fill those seats. None of those races get into office. None of them get into power. They listen. They paid attention last time. They saw that Stacey Abrams single-handedly came out and changed one whole red state blue. They said, "Oh, we're gonna get these motherfuckers. We're gonna put the people into the offices before they get to vote." But even in doing that, you as the voter, you got to be smart enough to know people don't live forever. So even though you may be there for a while fucking with us, we know that every 2 years the people who work in the House have to be reelected. And then I think it's every 4 years or 6 years, everybody in the Senate, y'all check to make sure the date's on that. But then it's the people of the Senate that got to be voted in. Right now, between the House and the Senate, you have a total of 465 representatives whose seats are up for reelection. So when I did the video the other day showing you the 35 Democrats that wanted to kick Joe Biden out to help Trump win, those are the people right away where when their seats come up this November for reelection, give it to another Democrat. And the same way when all those seats for all those Republicans come up in November, put a Democrat in the Republican seat, whether you care for them or not, whether you like them or not. Because by that way, you will ensure that you will be allowing some form of democracy and people to have some type of justice be maintained in America. It's not about the person, it is about what the administration of the particular party represents, right? Now, a lot of y'all, you don't know what the Democrats have done positive for Black people because you don't go look to find out, and you don't care when people tell you. Like there have been like 4 programs so far that Joe Biden has done to get rid of people's college debt. 4 programs. And if you actually go on, there's a video I put up the other day about the Black Global Economic Forum, right? Because I watch all this stuff because I pay attention to everything that involves Black women. When you go on that channel on YouTube, instead of going on some of these dudes talking shit about Black women and some of these women trying to gaslight Black women into relationships with Black dudes, and you go into forums like Black Global Economic Forum, they will show you. They had Kamala Harris on there. They had a lot of the people from the president's cabinet on there, literally telling you about the programs that this administration has done to reduce some of the financial burden off of people's shoulders. Like there was, I forget the lady's name. It was actually Bad Built Body lady. That lady. What is her name? Crowley. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Blonde, bad built body. That lady. Crockett. She was there on that video. She was speaking with Angela Rye, and they asked the audience, how many of you have had the advantage of having your student loans resolved because of Biden's whatever plan? A lot of people in the audience stood up. They actually gave out the numbers of the money that was taken from off their shoulders. So this is real life shit. The amount of appointments his administration has made of Black women to high branches of office in America that has never been done before through any presidential cabinet. including that fucking mulatto Obama, black women have been appointed to more positions in this country than ever before because of the Biden Harris administration. So these are the things like black people, black women, you need to really know, so that when we're out here saying vote Democrat, we're not just saying that because we're crazy and we just in love with Biden. I don't give a fuck about Biden, but I give a fuck about women's freedom. I give a fuck about my daughter and my granddaughters and even me having the right to have an abortion or the right to contraceptive and not to be forced to stay in a marriage with somebody when I don't want to, or not to be able to say I want to be a single parent and live free by myself. They're trying to force all these fucking black male bums that are causing all of this criminality in society back into the homes of black women. That's what they're trying to do. That's it. Let me see what y'all said. No, Cat, that's the type of stuff we don't need. Student loan debt relief is not a joke. If you actually would go watch the video, there's more than one program, and I myself, for those that have watched me religiously, have known that I have put up programs in the previous months to already alert you to programs that would wipe your debt clear. Outside of the whole shit about the lawsuit that some Republican went and created to stop people from having their loans absolved. It's not a joke. It has happened, and I have myself put the information up for many people. I have done that. So you are misinformed, or you have not taken the right action when you should have. Then Marjorie Green is the yeah, but I was not talking about her. I'm talking about the black woman. It's Crockett. I forget her first name. So she said, same here. I don't give a fuck about. Yeah, I don't. I don't give a fuck about Biden. It's not. See, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm not dick riding anybody in the Democratic Party. I'm dick riding democracy. I dick ride the fact that black women want to be free. I dick ride the fact that black women want to have the right to their rights. Black women, y'all really don't understand how personal this shit is. I know a lot of y'all don't give a fuck about other black women. You don't care about your own history. You don't care about black women that died, put their lives on the line for us to be able to walk free in society, not be raped by any fucking body that wants to, the way it used to be in America. But I respect and care about all those women that did that shit for me so that I could come out here, talk as much shit as I want, fuck people up if I have to, and go to jail, get arrested for assault, and be let out the same way these dudes do. I respect that. And so it's important for us to like understand what our duty is. We got a civic duty to maintain law and order. If you don't maintain law and order, you're going to have fucking anarchy, and then you might as well go back to barbarism or barbarianism, because that's what's going to come. I have seen too many people, I'm going to come to the comment in a minute, talking about, oh, he's going back to the Handmaid's Tale. That's stupid shit and cowardly thinking. Nothing has to go anywhere if you get out and get rid of the fucking racist white people that want to dominate your life. How simple of an understanding and a theory is that? If you got a white motherfucker that wants to fuck your life up 100%, and we know it to be true, why would you vote for him? I don't give a fuck how much you don't like the other person. Why would you not vote for the person that is running against them? You never heard of the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Well, that's what Biden's administration is. That's the enemy of your enemy. Your enemy is Trump, and Biden is the enemy of Trump, so you should vote for Biden to get what you need, or Kamala Harris, or whoever the fuck they put in as a Democrat, because if you fuck with Trump, you're going to end up back on the fucking plantation. Literally. Let me come to the comments. All right, so she said it's different from state to, what's different from state to state? Let me explain to y'all. See, this is what's going to make me angry when people don't know how America works. The only thing that's different from state to state is the governor's rule. Your governors control your states. They control your mayors. They control everybody underneath the governor. The assembly of your state controls your governor. Your congressperson and senator controls your assembly. Do you understand me? And above them are the people that work under the president, eventually the president. And I say the people that work under the president, like all the U.S. attorneys, attorney generals for the states, da 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 da. That's how shit works. And even though each state may independently have different laws to govern their states, every different state has their own constitution. However, every fucking state in this country has to abide by the Constitution, whether we want to accept that or not. So if they have their way and Trump gets in, the first thing he's going to do is to alter the Constitution to make it where he wants to get rid of all of the amendments that give black people rights, give women the right to vote. So that takes care of all of us. And he wants to take it back to the way the founding fathers originally had it before the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. He wants to make it where the only people who have rights, wealth, and the ability to control everybody in this country is a white male, and a white male only. So that excludes white women too. However, since white women are still white, they will vote against their best interests because they're still white and because their men rule everything. So even though the rest of us will be suffering, they won't, because they will be part of the elitist controlling class, which is why you need to understand to throw away emotions when it comes to trying to put a face on Republican and Democrat and think about what the party represents. One party is supposed to represent democracy. Whether they do it 100% or not, they represent you maintaining your rights. That is the Democrats. The Republicans represent rich people, businesses, patriarchy, capitalism, and everything that makes money. They don't give a fuck about women. They don't give a fuck about men. They give a fuck about rich, white men only. I don't know how many everyday women that are rich are white men, but if you find any, let me know, because maybe the Republicans will care about them. But they only care about capitalism. And they don't like other people that are not exactly a white male that is extremely rich. Like, they giving a fuck about Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and people like that. They don't even give a fuck about the rich athlete, the rapper, and the football. They don't give a fuck about them. They don't have enough money for them. So that's what I'm trying to say to y'all. And I think a lot of this is getting crazy because I honestly see, and I can't call it but no other way, but ignorant, stupid black women that don't know how politics work in this country telling black women not to vote. When you don't vote, you give your power away to the people who are you're gonna give your vote to Donald Trump. Because when you don't vote for a Democrat, that's a lost vote. And so a person who does vote for Trump gets an extra vote. Because now your vote that should have went towards the Democrats is not registered. It's dead in the water. So now another person where your vote would have been accounted for a Democrat is 0. And then the other person goes to vote for Trump, and now that's 1. 0 to 1. And so now you're helping him and hurting yourself. And he already told you how he don't like black people, and you're going to find out. And the last thing I want to say to y'all is, please stop saying that Donald Trump gave y'all stimulus checks because he didn't. Those checks, and this is why I say you got to learn how this country works. The president never gives you money like that. That has to go through the House and the Senate, and the Speaker of the House, who is Nancy Pelosi, has to agree to sign off on that and pass it to the president for the final signature to release any money or any of those checks that was given to us during COVID to the people. It's not like that dude, Trump, actually decided, let's put this proposal together, let's put this bill together, then pass it into law and then disseminate the checks. He played a mind game on y'all. He knew that by calling the news and sitting there at the desk and signing the checks, which is part of his job as the president, you would believe that it was all his idea to give you stimulus checks. And why black people are so hooked on $1,200 is beyond fucking me. You cannot be that thirsty in life where you don't realize that that shit ain't nothing compared to you being able to be out here working a real job, making real money where you be able to take care of yourself. I'd rather work a regular job and be making much more a month than getting any check for a couple of times for only a fucking bullshit $1,200 or whatever it is. Cause that $10,000, $7,000 or $5,000 is nothing compared to a whole fucking year's worth of decent fucking income checks. Decent earnings. I'd rather take a salary that's decent any motherfucking day over a bullshit ass 1, 2, or 3 times stimulus check. Are y'all crazy? That motherfucking money's gonna be gone in no time. But if you have a year's worth of a decent salary, you can set your life up beautifully. You can invest some money, save some money, triple your money. There's so many things to do out here besides. This is why I did the video showing y'all all the other channels y'all should be looking at. Y'all really should be looking at investing, deferred compensation, compounded interest, learning how to grow your money, high yield savings, high yield interest, all that shit you should be looking at. You should be on nerdwallet.com, everything financial. So you could take literally $15 and make $300 out of that shit. Did y'all know I heavily pump M1 and SoFi for robotic investment platforms that are apps, right? I just saw a video the other day a guy put up about all the new features from M1. Now, mind you, I invest all the time with M1 robotically. I pay $10 every week into M1 for M1 to strategically pick modernized risk stocks, buy them on all platforms, NASDAQ, S&P, individual stocks, ETFs. I don't give a fuck what it is. Give me the one that makes the most money, buy it, put it in the portfolio, let it grow. You could do the same thing. Instead of us having these conversations we having right now, we could be having conversations about who did the best this month in whatever stock they bought and turn the rest of us on to a good stock. We could be talking about dividend stocks. We could be talking about black investment stocks. We could be talking about a lot of shit. This is why democracy is important, because when you don't have it, you're going to be worrying about robbing Peter to pay Paul and scrounging any little money you get, because the rights that you know of today will no longer exist. Employment rights will be out the window. You won't have that. You know how some people live in states where the state is a right to work state and other states are you don't have the right to work? He wants to make every state not a right to work. So y'all need to understand what's really at hand here. And it's nobody trying to scare you or hate monger. It's giving you the real facts, because I know for a fucking fact none of you have read that 956 page manifesto of how they want to destroy this country, take all your rights away, and give everything to white males. I know you have not read that, because I haven't read all of it, and I'm still up to like 300 and something while I'm still jumping around all over the place. When I hear a video that says, oh, check out page 257 or whatever, I jump over there, then I go right back to where I left off from starting from the beginning. Like, I know y'all ain't read that shit. I know how you reacting in the comments and some of the things you said, that y'all haven't read it. Because if you did, you would be way scared than you are, and you would be more hell-bent on getting rid of every fucking Republican. It's like not understanding that they getting ready to send you to concentration camps the way that they did the Japanese in this country and the black people of the South. And we're just sitting here waiting for them to show up with the bus. That's the type of mentality we have right now. Let me look at the comments and then get ready to end the live. So it's like, yep, black men spazzing out because black women are waking up to how their lives are less chaotic without black men, while seeing these black women with black men being treated like shit. You absolutely right. I got an email that my student debt can be reduced, not released. Are you missing the point, Kat? Whether it's eliminated or reduced, anything is better than nothing. You do understand that when Biden and them, his administration, came out with the 100% debt relief bill, right? It was passed. Many people got it. And then some fucking white racist prick somewhere, I think he lived in Texas, went to the Supreme Court and put in a lawsuit and said it's not fair that all these poor people get to have their debt eliminated when I had to pay mine back. He put in a fucking suit against what Biden did. Look it up if you don't believe me. And then the Supreme Court ruled that that program had to be stopped. It could be reduced. You could create other programs to do whatever you want. But that particular plan that he was talking about was a no-go after that white Texan motherfucker went to the Supreme Court and sued because he felt like it was unfair to him that everybody else could get their debt wiped clean after he had to pay for his. Even though he's in a better position already because he was able to pay off his debt, everybody else is fucking struggling. So that's what I'm talking about, like where you got to know all the behind shit too and just stop taking stuff, the information off the surface. I am in no way needing to try to convince you to do what's right for yourself. If you feel like fuck what I say and you don't give a fuck about a Democrat, you think a racist fucking cracker is going to do better by you, by all means, sister, vote for Trump, vote for every fucking KK member you could find. And when they are stringing us back up to trees, busting in your fucking door and night riding and terrorizing you the way they used to, and cops are out here shooting you in your head and beating you down in the street, and no matter what you do, they will never be charged for it. If you want to live that life, go open the door to it. The rest of us, I guess, will have to suffer. But I guess what? You will suffer and realize that what you thought about these Republicans was 100% not true. And now you're going to be stuck with that shit until a real fucking civil war or God, some miracle from God happens where shit gets turned around or somebody engineers a fucking coup in America to take over the government. You think I'm bullshitting? It has happened before. That's why you need to know your history. Yeah, y'all be bugging out. But it's like, she says, I love us as a black woman. I don't give a fuck about any other demographic. I don't either. The way I care about black women, I want black women free. Then you should be out here telling black women to vote Democratic. Because regardless of how you feel about who's in the Democratic Party, they're not trying to take away your right to abortion. They're not trying to take away your right to contraceptives. They're not trying to take away your right to vote. They're not trying to take away your right to work or go to school. These white dudes are, because do you not hear them when they said they want women to be pregnant back in the house underneath their husbands, and their purpose in life is to fuck their husbands, have children, and have babies? Do you not? You don't think you think they playing when they say that shit? They not playing, and I'm gonna tell you why. White dudes are sick in the fucking head. They're dumb, and they got black males who believe and want to be them just as fucking stupid. All these dudes out here don't have no purpose in life besides being in control of a woman and trying to control her every fucking movement in life until she dies, whether that's beating her ass every day, fucking her and her minor children until they can't fuck them no more. I told y'all a story about that in the last couple of videos where this little girl on Pretty Black Magic's channel from off of the Soft White Underbelly's channel told her story about how her mother allowed her boyfriend, which became her stepfather, to sexually molest this girl since she was 6 years old and end up having to have vaginal surgery to repair all the damage this man was doing to this little girl. Little fucking girl. Not young girl, little girl. 6 fucking years old body. So if you want to live in a world where you go back to that being a normalcy the way it was in 1950, 1940, 1930, all the way back to 1619, then you go ahead and you do that. I'm not fucking with that. I already told you they can declare martial law tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna die the same day because the first motherfucker that tries to put me in my place, I'm putting them in their grave. It's that simple. It's that simple. Because I will live with liberty or I will die free. Do you not understand me? And that is really the way all you black women need to be thinking. Because they are not playing. They want white people to go back to being like fucking kings in this land. They are really sick in the head. But when you have sick white people and nobody checking them, you going to find out just how out of control those motherfuckers can become. Everybody going to find out. I just don't understand why people don't realize when white people are showing you who they are, they ain't fucking playing. They showing you who they are. What she said? She said, "Wait, hold on, I'm coming." She said, "White women will suffer, but not nearly as much as black women. White women will use, well, white men will use black white women to only replace white kids. Exactly. That's what they call the birth dearth. But they voted against Hillary because they didn't want her to be under the lead. They didn't want her to be under the lead of white women. Their problem with Hillary was she wasn't able to be controlled by white men. Now you see how they have these crazy bitches like Marjorie Green. That's a bitch that they would make president because she's crazy. She hates everybody. She worships white men. White men can say, "Fuck you, bitch. Jump until I tell you to stop jumping." She'll start jumping and be like, "Am I jumping high enough?" That's how crazy that bitch is. All right. They like women like her. She's a white pick me. They love bitches like that. Hillary is a dyed in the fucking wool radical feminist. She don't give. The only reason why she got a husband is because she had to have one to go into politics. People who know how this country works, right? You can't become a big person in the military without being married. You can't become super famous or super powerful in politics unless you're married. The reason that happens is because the patriarchy and the mentality and mindset of America is if you can't show us that you're responsible, like anybody could be responsible for themselves, right? But they don't give a fuck about that. They want you to show that I'm responsible enough to be in a functional partnership. This is my husband. This is my wife. This is my family. We live American dream, bullshit ass, picture perfect. This is the fallacy they want you to believe in. When we all know that all women who are married usually regret the fact that they've gotten married at one time in their life or other. Now, whether they're going to be honest enough to tell you that is another thing, but I will tell you, I regretted being married. I regretted having children. I regretted even fucking dudes, period. Because when I sat back and thought about my life, I'm like, my life was way much happier when I was a young woman, no children, not sexually evolved, and just free to be me without any unassuming nonsense, any addiction to sex, any desire for sex, just being me. Like whatever I woke up today and I wanted to do where it only concerned me, I was free to do it without considering anything else. As soon as you start fucking, as soon as you start having kids, as soon as you start believing in, wanting, and desiring relationships, your ass is through. You are never the uniquely genuine, pristine, perfect person you used to be before you got caught up in all the rest of that shit. They know that. These people in this administration, this country, they study sociology, psychology, our socialization, interactions with each other every day to control us. So when they see that women are better off free and unengaged with anybody, and they actually produce more for society and do better engaging in society by being free from every burden, they make sure you got burdens. That's what people are not understanding about white America in America. Let me get back to the comments. That they build apartments here to support migrants must be nice. Where the country is building safe neighborhoods for black women. You know, you are being the, and I know maybe you're doing it on purpose, or maybe that's really how you are. You remind me of this fucking dumbass chick I work with. And I'm not calling you a dumbass chick, I'm talking about her. She does the same thing. And what you're not understanding is the same thing I told her. I don't give a fuck what they make for them. I live in New York City. I know for a fact they're not doing shit for them. They're doing the same thing they do for everybody else. It is a governmental contract. The people who are making money off these fucking people, both the migrants and the citizens of this country that are homeless, they're paying the person that owns the building. The city and state and the federal are paying the person that owns the hotel. They're paying the person that owns the whole fucking block. They're not paying those people. And all that housing that y'all think is happening for them, where the fuck is it? Where is it in New York? New York is going through a housing fucking crisis. Ain't no housing being made here for any fucking body. Do you know what they're doing? They are gutting old schools, old buildings, old recreation centers, and cutting that shit up like an illegal dwelling and putting drywalls in between the floor and throwing a cot in there, a sink in there, a bathroom in there, and literally making buildings into in society fucking jail cells for people to live in. So I don't understand why y'all get so hooked on silly shit, because who gives a fuck if somebody gives them a temporary place to live? This is why when I say when you don't understand how America works, you get caught up in the dumb shit. These people still have come here under asylum. Do you not understand that? That means that they have a date before they go to a judge that will determine whether or not they get to stay in America. Most of the time, because these people are not fully employed, they have not met any of the requirements, or some of their eligibility to come here under asylum has changed, they are often deported and sent back to their country. Y'all need to Google how that court works so y'all could understand that the things that you hear in the news and the stupid shit that black women and black dudes say on here, like Umar and etc., that want to get you all fucking riled up about other people getting something you don't get, is not true. And the programs, honestly, since we talking about it, let's talk about it. The programs that are actually available to you black people, you don't fucking take advantage of. You sit your lazy ass at home, not trying to educate yourself, not getting the jobs that you can, not completing the certificates that you could get to move up, so that you don't need no fucking programs or do whatever it takes to qualify for those programs. Because I know here in New York City, as well as every other big city, they have tons of programs if you comply with the resource programs in your city or state that tie you to that housing. You just don't want to do it. Or you feel like you're going to scam your way into something that you're not going to get. Let's stop playing. Because the same way when she brought that up to me, I had an argument with her Friday at work that made me decide I'm going to stop fucking with her, because I can't deal with black people that's stupid like that. You worrying about a motherfucker coming to your country temporarily who has a right underneath the constitution of this country not to made to be live in the street. Would your ass like to be made to live in the street? Do you like when black women are evicted? I don't. But because certain states have laws against that, you act like those laws shouldn't exist, or that they should exist only for those people, while you missing the point that if you don't vote to keep your right to have a say in any policy that goes on in this country or any state or city you live in, you ain't never gonna have nothing to say about nothing that's done, or have any input on how they treat you or any fucking body else. That's what y'all are not understanding, because you too busy trying to play into the hatred that these white motherfuckers put out here for you to fall into, to go along with. I don't like Hispanics either. I have never liked them. In New York City, they are some of the most disrespectful, fucked up people when it comes to black people. They're worse than the Hispanics in California. But guess what? We could live around each other without problems. We could go to school with each other without problems. We could work with each other without problems. That's the best part of having laws that say I don't gotta like a motherfucker to be able to live in the same neighborhood with them, work with them, or go to school with them. They can have their own fucked up anti-black, I hate black beliefs the same way I can have my anti-Hispanic, I hate them motherfucking beliefs too, but we can still coexist at the same goddamn time. Y'all are not understanding that because you too busy wanting to be just like Trump, and you're not gonna understand how it feels until he get on black people's ass. And when he does, they ain't gonna be nowhere for you to run. And you know he's coming because he does not like black people, and he is still a rich white man in America where they all believe white supremacy is God and everybody else is to be something they wipe their fucking ass with. So y'all need to chill with the way y'all be thinking. Y'all not thinking right at all. You really aren't. What did you say, Lucy? You said, Stephanie, black folks are that poor. 1,200 is lots to lots for black folks. I'm amazed how poor black folks are. I'm the bank. Okay, I'm the bank in my family, and only one person ever lived off my money in my family. I know that. I'm not surprised by that. But what I am surprised by is the fact that they think so fucking low minded that they don't think long term, and they will fucking kill themselves and kill other people. Because remember, during COVID, you had them stupid black niggas killing black women over their fucking stimulus checks. A bullshit fucking check that ain't gonna last more than 6 months. You fucking killing people, giving up your whole fucking life for a bullshit amount of money. I don't think y'all understanding what I'm saying. I know people are poor, but that don't mean you got to stay that way. And some of the easiest resource to not being poor is black people looking out for each other and taking care of each other. But we so fucked up in the head, we can't do that, which is why you got so many poor people. I know exactly what you're talking about. I go to Louisiana all the time. All the time. I got cousins down there who live with fucking bums that do nothing but wait on this girl to get her fucking welfare check every month. Spend up her shit, drink up her shit, and then the rest of the month I'm selling them money, and they think they gonna live off me for the rest of their life. No, you fucking not. So yes, I understand what you're saying, but do I also understand that those black people don't gotta live like that? I know that too. Because the same way they be fighting with their mamas, and we started off this video about how these girls is always online complaining about older women and they want to live their life and be the head of their own household and all this bullshit. Sometimes when your ass is poor and you got no pot to piss in and you ain't got a fucking window to throw it out of, you need to sit your broke, ignorant, uneducated ass down. Stay with your family. Stop worrying about fucking on some broke ass nigga and having a house full of babies you can't afford. Stay in that house with your mama and your grandmother. And y'all kill those fucking bills while you save your money. Build up your funds to go to college, to buy your first apartment, buy your first car, buy your first home, and stop playing ghetto Monopoly for the rest of your fucking life. I don't understand it. It's this. Yo, how do you think our grandparents did it? When they were back in the days when they couldn't vote and they had to like stay with each other, great grandparents, grandparents, parents, their kids all in one house. That's how my people lived in Louisiana. Even though they got the house from the dude, right? They lived there, they took care of each other. Each person went off to school. They got a decent job. They came back. They helped the next person get on their feet. That's how every other group in America works, the way black people used to work. It has not been until black people been on this new shit where they want to be like white folks up in the north with this nuclear family belief bullshit. And, oh, I got to have mine. Fuck you if you don't have yours. This is why we in the position we in. And if little girls would stay little girls and stop trying to play grown and play house with grown ass men that need to be in jail, you wouldn't have all them poor ass fucking people all over the place fiending and killing themselves for measly fucking $1,200. Do you know how fast it would be for me to go right now and sell somebody $1,200 fucking dollars? You can live the same fucking way if you put the bullshit to the side. And it ain't about me being in New York, because I can take my same credentials and go anywhere in this world and make the same fucking money because my education and degrees dictate so. That's the bottom line. Yeah, I know that. I ain't crazy. I know they be living like fucking, like basically hobos and shit on houses on top of bricks and shit. I know how they be living. I see them all the time. And when they come out the house, they all got the same fucking uniform on, looking fucking stupid, a baby on their hip, drinking all night, all day, smoking, drugging, getting their ass beat, dealing with drug dealers, dealing with fucking bums in the neighborhood, and never one day waking up and going, maybe if I stop living this stupid fucking life, I could have something. So yes, I do know. I know them very well. She said Project 2025. She said the black male have not been watching on the black males have not been watching on the walls of Zion, and black women gotta fend for themselves. I don't know what you mean, Kiana, watching on the wall. See, I'm not no religion person, so I don't know. Even though my grandson's name is Zion, I don't believe in religion, so I don't know religious stories. So you have to like break it down for me because I don't know. But black women gotta fend for themselves. We always had to. We always had to. And women in general always have to. Think about reality of life. I don't care how far back you go. Since you talked about Zion, think about Zion, right? And I'm talking not, well, maybe I shouldn't start there. Okay. Let's think about like as far back as to like, I just like her because I look like her. Let's talk about the Queen of Sheba for a minute, right? Now she's a black woman that was born to a rich father, a king, right? She grew up, she had everything in Ethiopia. I think she was born in Ethiopia, Axen, right? So she's born in Ethiopia, not the Ethiopians that we see today, because those are the ones that have been uh, bred with or violated with Italians, white people, Southeastern Europeans. The way they look, they're a bunch of mixed breed, fucking basically non-African people, right? And that's the reason why they always trying to downplay everybody else, thinking that their curly hair and the color of their eyes and the sharp features of their skin looks better than other people. When in fact, I think a lot of them are extremely ugly. A lot of them look like they got fucking Down syndrome, and I guess that's that European gene they inherited. But anyway, that's where she's from originally. And she was a black woman that literally looks exactly like me. When I look at her pictures, because I told y'all I like to claim that a lot, right? I had put that picture up of Makeda, because her name is Makeda, right? Makeda. And I put it up of her to show y'all and to symbolize that when these people are trying to take your glory from you, trying to claim Egypt from you, trying to claim Ethiopia from you, Kemet, what's the other one? The most famous one. I forget right now. But to this day, they still exist. And the women, damn, they were rulers right before Egypt became real famous. But they're still here to this day. I'll have to go look on Mary Jane's page, that black girl, the Jamaican black girl that travels all over the world. She recently went to that country. God damn, what are they called? What are them black women called? Nubia. So Nubia was the big thing before Egypt became real big after the Romans came. It was Nubia first. So Nubians still exist to this day the way that they were from back then. And they look like me and you too. All right? So anyway, if you go back to that time, the reason why I say black women always have to look out for themselves, even with a woman like that as powerful, with as much money, could ask for anything in the world, anytime that woman was alone or her soldiers were out getting food or going to the bathroom, She kept a blade on her thigh. She kept a sword on her back and a dagger underneath her left arm. And again, for women that know how to fight, the reason why she kept a dagger under her left arm is because you keep your main weapons with your strongest arm on that side of your body. And you always keep an additional weapon or like a backup weapon on the weak side of your body. So that if ever you're in a position where you're pressed up against something and you cannot access the strong side of your body's main weapons, you always have that hidden one to come out on the opposite side of the body to free up your primary weapons and your strong side. And this is all taught in military. This is the arts of war, right? And all those women back then knew these tricks, every one of them. This is why, sometimes when I talk to you about the clips that go in your hair, if you really read about the women only, specifically their lives and how they lived through those times, you will learn that women used to always carry daggers in their hair. Whenever they pulled their hair up and all this shit and they had it all twisted up fancy, in the base of their hair was one of the sharpest daggers you would ever find. Because whenever they would be caught by the water, caught washing themselves or washing clothes, tending to the baby, the man would have the tendency to like either try to put the lady in a chokehold or pick her up off her feet because they believe like the dumbass men believe today that they're stronger. So those women would take the knife out and immediately jab them right in the neck and then pull it out quick. When you do that, it would just send the blood spurt shooting all over the place. The person drop, they're done. The reason I'm telling you this is because women are never safe. I don't care if we're talking about having everything in the world money could buy you to being broke is a fucking joke. So when you say black women, how literally what you said, black women always have to, what did she said? Look out, fend for themselves. It's the realest shit in the world because it doesn't matter. Even me, sitting here right here talking to you, I understand that I have to be able to defend myself if I'm talking to you and I strategically sat in front of bushes that are intertwined behind me so that no body can actually fit through them. And that if anybody tried to come through them and they began to move them open or pry it open, I would literally hear the branches move and snap and would have time enough to react. So I'm saying these things to you because when you're saying stuff like this to me about black women, these are things that I assume probably wrongfully that black women understand. Like you're never safe. You're never safe when you're sitting somewhere, standing somewhere, going somewhere, being married to somebody who you think is so economically sound and your alarm system might be the greatest, or if you're living in the projects and you're surrounded by chaos and violence and criminality all the time. You're supposed to always know you never safe. And that's why you always supposed to have a backup plan and be about getting your own shit and being able to stand on your own 2 feet. Everything I always talk about is always rounds back around to black women understanding that you are the only person that is going to be responsible and that is and should be responsible for your prosperity, longevity, and how you live in this life. Whether you have shit you need, don't have it, working on your way to get it, or you suffering because you just don't got it in you to go get it. I hope I'm making that clear because I understand what you're saying. I just don't want the fucking excuses. That's all I'm saying. Because when you look for excuses, you putting a blind eye to the solution. Like I remember earlier, a little while in the other chat before they closed, shut off my feed. I was talking about white people politically a little too much, and we was talking about what was we talking about when they cut it off? Oh, the violence and everything, right? When Kat was saying earlier that she feels that way because of the housing towards the immigrants, she could feel that way. I don't have to accept it. Like I really don't like hearing that shit from that girl at my job because that's all she talks about. And the reason that's all she talks about is because she gets that from this dumb nigga she lives with. And when I tell you dumb, when you see this motherfucker, he's damn near like 60 something, still working as a janitor, literally looks disgusting, has no intelligence, but you can't tell her that he's not the dumbest motherfucker in the world and she's wasting her time. She thinks she hit the jackpot with this dude. And the thing that I want y'all to understand, and even Kat, is that when you waste your time focusing on that silly shit, you're missing the fact that there are really legal opportunities in this country for you to come up off of. But when you're not even checking for them or even understand or know that they're there, that's why so many of us are living as fucked up as we do. Because they too busy worrying about stupid shit on YouTube, like the drama, the celebrity dumb shit, couple shit, arguing about bullshit, fake, made up gender wars to disguise the reality of the violence and the killing and the mistreatment that goes on with black women. And if black women were really focused on shit that affects them, they would be in a better fucking position. That's everything I'm saying today. So if you stop worrying about what fucking migrants are doing and what this nigga is thinking in reference to you and him in a relationship, and you worried about yourself, your money, securing your life without worrying about anybody else or no dude, you understand that if I want those things right now, because of the fact you got all this shit going on with the parties, if you vote Democratic, you lock in your rights so that if later on a year from now you come across a program in your state like Habitat for Humanity, just make that as an excuse, right? Take that as an example. And you actually put in the volunteering time or you qualify with your job. Let's say you're a teacher or some other job that qualifies for you to get a house right away. And you start doing a little part-time job to work up extra money so that you could get the house that much faster, and you do it. As long as you recognize that if I have the right to exercise these things, I could better myself and get more out of life. That opportunity is there for me. I'm going to work on it. That's the better way to be than worrying about shit that don't got nothing to do with you and not taking advantage of all the things that are in front of you that can make you better, and then allowing a racist motherfucker to come in, change the whole country to the point where you don't have that option no more. And all you will have is everything y'all are telling me in this comment section about how real broke, how real desperate, and how real fucking ignorant a lot of black people are living primarily in the South. I'm not shooting no shots, causing no shade or whatever it is y'all say, but it's 50% of black people live in extreme fucking poverty in the South. And you don't have to live that way. If the majority of those black women would not be sexually active as teenagers and get involved with these older men, younger men, the guys the same age as them, but graduated from college and went straight from college away, keyword, away to college, graduated, got a mentor, got involved in all the programs in that college to get them prepared for their first job, there would be 0% poverty in anywhere in America. But we have to make those choices. And we got to stop disliking people because they have an opinion that is not the same as ours, or the opinion might be unpopular or unfavorable. You got to learn to take in something else and analyze it and alter the shit you believe and who and what you are and what you're doing in life to get more out of life. I'm seriously telling you. Do you know how good it feels to be a type of black woman where, unless they come tomorrow or in November and change the laws where I no longer have freedom, I don't ever have to worry about a man or anybody doing anything to me or for me in my life because I got all that shit on lock. Me, myself, my little black woman self. I don't need them motherfuckers for nothing. But to get the fuck out of my face or hit me off with some dick whenever I feel like it. And that's not very often because I'm starting to lose all appetite for men. And I guess as you get older, that happens because you start to realize that they're a lot, they're like more trouble than what they're worth. Like, seriously. They fucking talk too much. They aggravate you. They want to bitch about shit that's not important. And I really could live my life and go through my day without all that bullshit. It's really true. Let me see what else y'all wrote. right, Kat, you can feel however you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are taking sides, not I'm here for. I'm not taking sides. I want you to stop worrying about other motherfuckers and take advantage of your own opportunities here while you got them. And understand that if y'all are out here really believing, and this is the last time I'm talking about this shit, believing that all this other stuff that people are telling you out here, where they're trying to further drag you down, that if you don't vote, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be fooled, and you're gonna find out the hard way, right? But if you vote and you vote for the Democrats and not the Republicans, every right that you have now, it stays locked in. It stays locked in for the next 4 years. And I think y'all need to go back and watch that video I put up of the bell curve. She's a black woman that really breaks down how the government works and stuff like that. And she explains to you that if we keep everything, the presidency, we get a super majority in the Senate and the House up until 2032, you will literally get to the point in America where you don't have to worry about parties. You don't have to worry about who's Democrat, who's Republican. You could pick a president from anywhere they come from that is going to run the country based off of the laws that have been established from 2024 all the way to 32, instilling absolute opportunity, justice, and equality for everybody. That's what you stand to win on game and to lose if you put racist people in the house over people that's trying to look out for everybody. Once you get the supermajority of a democracy, it doesn't matter who the president is because the laws will be set in place where they won't be able to touch them for a few years. And if you don't like what they're trying to do once they get in, you could get them out of there the next 4 years. But until you have that full supermajority of Democrats up to 32, it's going to be left that they may come in as Republicans and change every law of the country, the Constitution, everything. Get rid of public school. You know, if they get rid of public school, what they're going to do with your kids, right? They intend to take your children and put them into some type of training camp for the military. They never said what they're going to do with all those kids, but they tend to take your kids from you and put them somewhere else. I don't think that's going to work out well for the children or the parents, but this is what they intend to do. So if they do that, right, now you're left with, once people are dissatisfied, and even if black people are allowed to vote, which they won't be because he said that he's going to take away our right to vote, you're going to be stuck with relying on the kindness of strangers and other people who already hate you through anti-blackness to vote and to make laws that actually work in favor of your existence and benefit you, which I doubt very many people will do. So as the years go on, you will have less and less rights and become less and less human to the point where you have absolutely nothing in a country that your ancestors literally built. And all of the progress that every black woman has put in and went through up until you lose the election in 2024 will all be for nothing. So that's what's really in jeopardy. But I'm not talking about that anymore because, you know, as fucked up as it is, and as much as I would hate to lose my right to be a free woman, if you have enough black people that don't want to listen and they really believe in whiteness and they really want to see white supremacy because they don't believe in it, and if they happen to vote that into existence, there's absolutely nothing I can do but suffer along with you. But you will suffer. You better believe that. All right, so on to somebody else. So, like, she's like, yep. Lucy says, same here. I'm a fighter. Lucy, I feel you on Hillary. I voted for her, but white men hated her. I didn't vote for her. My mom voted for her. I didn't vote for her because I knew she was a hard, or what they call radical feminist, but she didn't believe in any of that feminism towards black women. She's like, she's honestly, you might as well say like the original form of feminist. She's up there right along the same ranks as Susan B. Anthony and the rest of them crazy white bitches during the suffrage. Like, they just want to use black women to get rights for them, and then throw black women out with the trash, and don't give a fuck about us suffering as long as they get what they want. And that's the same way white women are today. Because I guarantee you, all those white bitches that be on all the black women's channels, acting like they in black women's corner, watch all of them bitches vote for Trump. They did it in the last election. Watch them do it again. But the thing I'm trying to get black women to understand is black women are the number one group in America, even though they want to go out of their way to make you believe you're only 13%. You're not. You have to remember your history. The black women populated group is the largest group in the entire world. So if you're the largest group in the world and you're not all concentrated in one spot, that means that everywhere you are concentrated, you are the highest number. Is that not correct? So stop believing the shit these white people tell you, because it is all lies. All right. She said, yeah, black males knocked black women up to keep black women from surpassing them. This is true. Black women thought it was about love when it was about control. They still don't want to understand that, Lucy. Like, to this day, I just told you last night I had come across live, and I just typed some black femicide stuff in the chat to get them to recognize, right? You sitting here trying to convince black women that they're better off in relationships with black males because white people are telling you that nuclear households are better for you than being by yourself or being in a household of an extended family where you got generations of people working together to make money. Keep listening to white folks and watch where you're going to be. And if you keep listening to black males, you might as well just cut your wrist right now, jump off the fucking bridge, or die, because that's what's going to happen dealing with them, because they don't like black women. And they especially don't like little black girls. Everything you ever see is them disrespecting black women and little girls. They hate to see you with a future, or you with freedom, or you with the right to choose not to deal with them. I don't understand why black women don't get that. No male group that so-called loves you would be killing you the way they do, harassing you online the way they do, and randomly assaulting you the way they do. Like, they jumped on that black woman the other day in Dollar Tree, kicking her in the head with steel-toe boots. He didn't know that woman. He just hated her and wanted to hurt her because she was a black woman. Let me see what she said. Yes, generational housing is where black people can succeed and garner wealth. You can. She said, um, what I mean was watching and looking out. They busy arguing while them people plotting. You ain't never lied, Kiana. That's always how white people are. Even right now, with us arguing back and forth about, no black person should ever be having to argue with another black person why they should vote Democratic instead of Republican. Like, have you not been alive this whole time that these people have been taking our rights from us and publicly letting you know that they don't like the freedom that black women have, or women in general, and then you arguing with a black person that's telling you not to vote for them but to vote against them? Like, you damn right, Kiana. They set the stage and they sit back and go, look at these stupid motherfuckers argue about shit that's right in front of their face. That's what's happening. Like, every racist white person knows no black person should be voting for them. But yet they will come out here and pump it up like they the best thing that could happen to you, just so you can vote them in so they could fuck you up. That is how America gets down. Yep. She said, Stephanie, our problems is so widespread because it's also older black women who also take care of men. Here we go with this bullshit again. That's why, Lucy, what? That's why BWE women have to warn older Black women 50 plus. Listen to me. Stop giving a fuck about them. They are like a drop in the bucket. Those are, yo, let me tell you something. You see these black women today that's young on TikTok. That girl I was calling Black Squidward, or in Pretty Black Magic was calling Handsome Squidward. That girl and the girl I showed you in the video, bitching and complaining about people not wanting to take care of her kids. Those are those old women when they get older. Which is why when you eliminate them as young women, they don't turn into them silly black women when they get older. But as long as you have black women that feel like they're connected to black males, like tethered to them, like in that movie Us, right? Where if something happens to them, automatically, oh my God, the world is coming down and crashing on black people. No, the world is coming down and crashing on them because they fucking deserve it. Like, they just be committing crime everywhere, all day, every day. If one day for a whole week you get up and Google every single state in America, every major city, or two different locations from that state, every day, I guarantee you without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to find at least two articles of black males doing something criminal. And one of them will include them taking somebody's life. That should have nothing to do with black women. Black women should get to the point where they understand that they are menaces to society. We are not. We need to start divorcing ourselves from even being thought of in the same thought as them, because that keeps you from getting jobs. It keeps you from people wanting to protect you in society. It keeps people from thinking you're human, because you keep associating yourself with people who other males and other people have already wrote off as completely useless. Like, are y'all aware of the amount of white dudes and Asian dudes that currently have TikToks and YouTube channels talking about how fucked up black males are, how they treat their women, how they don't contribute shit to the society the way other men do? Start looking into that and see how people really think about them. And you want to know the most disturbing shit about those? I came across those channels by accident because I like to watch the videos of the black women with the Asian men as couples. And it was an Asian dude doing a video about how he's sick and tired of all the disrespect towards black women. And I was watching his video, and then you know how YouTube will do throw all these other people with the same type of content. And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know they were coming out this hard like this. But what I noticed was, normally, you know how in the comments it would be 1,000 motherfucking black dudes trying to attack black women. Like, after I do this live, they might not be here now, but after I shut down the live and the comments are left, they will swarm the comments, calling me names, talking shit about all the black women that commented in the section, talking shit about us on the whole. And all I'm gonna do is block and delete every one of them. Just be rest assured, right? But they will do that. But what I noticed when it came to them dudes, they don't say shit. They real quiet. And those people really be tearing their ass or dragging them the way y'all say, because they go off on them. They really talk about them and talk about how they ain't shit. They really do. So, let me see. She said, our problem is so widespread. Yeah. So don't worry about them old bros, because even if you tell them old stupid chicks, and it's only a few of them, because believe me, the majority of black women, I keep saying this, stop believing like what these males are out here trying to portray. The majority of black women are not what's depicted in these videos and who they're talking about in these videos. The majority of black women in this country, because there's a whole fucking lot of us, we are not these low-level black males, baby mamas. We are not dysfunctional households. We are not single women that are snapping our fingers and rolling our necks and having this and having the attitude of doing. We are not those people that they're making up. The majority of us are out here dealing with our own families in our own private ways. We're making our own money. We're setting our children up in life. We're traveling. We're trying to look out for our retirement, our own future, and we're trying to save as much money as possible. Literally. I belong to a group of black women of all ages where we have an investment group, and all we do is teach each other how to make money. There's women in there 17, well, not women, that's still a child. There's women in their 20s. There's women in there little girls in high school, college, housewives, divorcees, never been married, never have children. But the commonality is we not playing about our lives and our future. And if all of us were as simplistic as these people on these videos try to make us out to be, that group would not exist. But it does. And so the few of these women, because you got to remember, that's a small segment of black America that works in nursing, because I never wanted to be a nurse, and you will never catch me in that fucking field. And I know I'm not the only one, because I ain't wiping nobody's ass. I ain't dealing with nobody's dirty body or they dirty bodily fluids. I'm not dealing with none of that. So it's a lot of black people like me. And that's just one small sector. You have black women in their 50s that work in engineering like I do. You have black women in their 50s that worked in law enforcement like I do. Paramilitary, full military. Did every academia and field out here, you got older black women in it. So that's just a drop in the bucket of those people. And those people don't hardly speak for all the black women in their 50s. And those are idiots. Those are male identified idiots. Those are people that have had marriages or been in long-term situations that never learned their life lesson, and they keep putting themselves out there to be abused by black dudes. I ain't one of them. All the women I know are not one of them. The majority, not all, but the majority of the women related to me are not those women either. So that's a small population of people that don't have no impact on the rest of us. No, I ain't going for that. And that's the other thing we got to do. Stop thinking that everything these black males create about us online actually needs to be given any credit or given any promotion, because it's not true. A lot of the shit they say needs to go in one ear and out the other, and y'all put your middle finger up to them because they're just fucking stupid. They think everybody's like they busted fucking mama, and many black women would never even have a friendship with their mama. It's real. Don't get black. We said I don't get black women who are threatened by their husbands, yet they don't arm themselves and end up killed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a whole. I think that's all part of the inferiority brainwashing trap that they do to black women, which is why they want to make you submit to them and feel like you ain't shit in comparison to them, so that they could beat your ass, threaten you, kill you, and you still stay there for more. I put up videos yesterday about a black man I found on TikTok explaining that. What's that man's name? Clifton SR something. Go look at the video. Clifton, I found Clifton because I've decided to like expose a lot of the TikTokers, those African bitches that keep exploiting our black TikTokers, right? So when I see like good quality TikTokers that they put up and they don't have the respect enough to give those people their due by showing their channel's name and giving them credit, if I have time, if I'm not working or busy with my grandchildren or the house or my own personal kids, I find those TikTokers and then I expose them and be like, yeah, this is Clifton. Cause yesterday, I think it was Priscilla Boyd. She took all these videos from Clifton and didn't show Clifton's name. So I went and found him and put him up to show y'all some of the shit he was saying, which was had a lot to do with black femicide. Not that I'm riding his dick, because I'm not. But like I told you, I don't have to like a motherfucker so that if they give out something credible and they deserve merit, I'm gonna give them their merit. So I don't know Clifton. He could be the biggest fucking jerk in the world. But the fact of the matter is he was putting out good content for black women to know about black femicide. So I said, all right, let me find Clifton. Let me show Clifton, because they trying to hide him. They trying to steal his content without giving him no credit. I don't like that shit. They need to be giving those TikTokers their fucking credit, so that when the rest of us want to go to their channel, we don't need to go. We don't need to see them bitches to see them. That's just how I feel. Like, yo, it's equal access out here for everybody. Nobody should be on here trying to jock all the viewers And if you on here for money, trying to jock all the money for themselves, no, because everybody has a right to be on here. Go to whatever channel they please, like who they like. Even if I'm telling you she's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit, so what? You still have your own decision to make. But in time, if you see what I'm telling you is true, then you need to give your view to somebody that's worth your view. All right. She said, I ain't messing with you no more. Let's see. Tariq Nasheed and others are telling them he has a biracial wife with a BBL, so they'll listen to him. Um, Patty, he's trying to tell that bitch is biracial with a BBL. She ugly as fuck too. She probably had a facelift too. Let me blow my nose. Hold on. All right. Oh God, where y'all at? Get that out of here. What is that? Come on, listen. Sorry, y'all. I had to blow my nose. I sound like a trumpet, right? But yeah, she is fucking ugly. I seen her ugly ass white mother too, long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember when Tariq Nasheed used to be on that fucking show with Monique. That fucking show, like with New York and them. I don't know if it was Charm School or whatever the fuck it was, but he was on some show long time ago. They used to play it a lot here in New York City. And I was like, why has he got this funny looking fucking black dude on here, always talking shit about the dark skinned women? That nigga was doing that way back then. Y'all look that shit up if you don't believe me. He used to be on a show with Monique back in the days. It wasn't the one with Flavor Flav. It was another one. But I remember it had a lady on there named Safari. I used to like her because she was the first person I ever see rock like front lace wigs, and they used to look so fucking good. I was like, yo, her hair looks so nice. And I remember I used to like her character, so I used to watch the show because of her. But that dude used to be on there years and years ago. Yeah, but his wife looking busted. She been busted, child. And that mother too. Come on now, all them fucking chicks be looking terrible. They got like maybe a 5-year lifespan where they look decent like other women. Tight skin, nice body. Then after that, it's all down here. They shit start looking crazy. Like they face is melted. Their body is going through changes. They look fucking crazy. And they got the nerve to be talking about black women. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Y'all go to the gym like I do and be in the shower area with them bitches with no clothes on. They ass be on the back of their knees, okay? They titties hanging all the way down to their feet. Oh my God, they look fucking trash. And then here I am, like 30 years older than them. I'm good. I'm definitely good. I just be looking at them like, what the fuck happened to you? But okay, I digress. Them bitches is terrible. Black women, you talking about competition, baby, it ain't even nothing to fucking consider. They ain't even in the consideration realm. Fuck competition. Alright, so let me get back to it. Right, so Lucy said, I don't care about Hillary being a white feminist when the alternative is Trump. That's me too, girl. Patty that. Alright, that's she thought she's talking to Patty. So then Lucy said the gag is black men have been separated from black women since Loving versus Virginia. Before that, girl, before that, remember Cynthia had told y'all, because I wasn't even aware of that shit till Cynthia brought it to a light. Go on to Google Scholars, type and look, you could click the thing that says case law, click the thing and go to the first case where a black man filed for an interracial couple. That shit was during slavery. I swear to God. The very first black man was still a slave, and he petitioned the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court to marry a slave woman, a slave white woman. Go look that shit up. She was not lying. And then after the emancipation, I think the second lawsuit was a black dude trying to marry a Hispanic woman. But back then they classified them from white when they came from certain countries. Because it's true, like certain European countries, even though the people speak Spanish, they are fully Caucasian. Like Spain is definitely one. Like white people from Spain, they are really white people that just speak Spanish. They are the, what do you call them? I don't know, but they're the ones that started all of the Spanish colonization. Them. Everybody that has ever woke up speaking Spanish or born into a Spanish speaking country, they have the Spaniards to thank for that. All right, let me go back to the comment. All right, let's see here. She said, yeah, they've been separating from us for a long time. Good. I want them to fully separate. Get the fuck out of here. Never come back. This man keep creeping up on me. I'm going to have to slap him with this goddamn iPad in a minute. I would like to join that investment group. You could join any investment group. All you got to do is go on to Facebook, find one. Go onto YouTube, find one. Go onto Meetup, find one. You ain't going to be in there with me. What? I got to keep my personal stuff personal, girl. It's investment groups all over the place. The best place to go is to literally, like I did, I went on meetup.com. You can go into any group in there. So I found that's initially how I started. Then from there, of course, I started hanging out with some women online that subscribe to Kiplinger. It's a investment magazine. So from the Kiplinger group women, then I started hanging out with another group of women that was like in this New York City Wall Street group. Now I ain't got no money to be fucking around on Wall Street like they do. They was balling. I ain't balling. So I left them after I learned a lot of knowledge. But they kind of kicked me out of the group because I wasn't down to give up $15,000 of my money to invest in a particular. I wasn't doing that. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. So I had to get out. I left. I left with my tail between my legs, but I learned a lot. Then I went back again to Reddit. I saw a couple of groups in there. I found some groups on Facebook, and then I went back to nerdwallet.com, got some professional referrals from there, and that's how I found the group I'm in today. Yeah, I've been around. I jump all around, learn shit. Do I want to do that? Nah, I'll come back. That's what I do. Then Lucy said they wouldn't follow Tariq as much if he was married to. Of course not, because they hate themselves and they hate black women. And black women remind them of their struggle. And they also remind them about how far they are away from white male dominancy. And they will never be a white male who dominates, but they like to think it in their mind. She said, matter of fact, they would have called out his grit his grit sooner. I don't know any current popular black male leader who's married to an actual black woman. Oh shit, that might be true. I'm pretty sure it's one, but I don't know any of them. Because most of them, if they've not married, they still womanize and like Umar. So yeah, you might be right. Nah, Jesse Jackson, but I don't think he's still doing anything politically active. But he's married to a black woman. Uh, Al Sharpton is divorced. His wife got tired of his bullshit. Um, I don't know anybody else. I have to sit down and think about it. But I know some of the main ones, like Cornell West. You're right. He got some old nasty looking white women. Yeah, whoever told me that is absolutely right. Um, he passed it to Kamala, right? So Biden did step down. So black women, that's giving you a heads up that they trying to set us up for the upcoming election, and that these motherfuckers really do want Trump to win because that's the only reason why he would step down. But he has to officially come out and tell us. It can't just be news articles and shit like that. He has to address the nation. So even though they claim that he's sick right now with COVID, he has to make an announcement officially. You can't just do it like that. Yeah, but anyway, if that's the case, just know that they trying to set us up, and they really trying to get that dude in office so they can fuck the whole country up. So in case they decide to try to do that, just be prepared to back Kamala the same way you would have backed Biden and keep the Democrats in there. Otherwise, we're gonna all be very sorry. Very sorry. Because once that dude gives immunity to the police, you can never go outside again. They're going to kill you on sight. All right. So let me see. She says, Nurses with purses isn't specifically about nurses. Nurses mean black. I know what that means, but what I said still stands. There is not this whole huge group or demographic of black women that are taking care of broken down, busted ass, can't do nothing for you black males. Black women, when they get older, we got our money, we got everything we want in life. There's nothing them niggas could do for us. Ain't nobody trying to pick them up and put them in their house. No, they're not. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? And I'm actually living the age demographic and being the women you're talking about? Nobody is doing that like that. Believe me, they're not. Very small population. The rest of us out here living the dream. You better believe it. Since black men named dark masculine karmic, since some black men named dark masculine karmic had made a video on black women in 4B movement saying that black women need to stop following whitewash movement, and that peace is only for white, and that what peace is only for white people. He tells black people to wash, worship the devil. He's a complete idiot. Anybody talking about worshiping the devil is a complete idiot. Anybody talking about making you worship anything is a fucking idiot because they're insulting your intelligence. They're basically telling you that you don't have what it takes to make your grown ass decisions for your own life. So they're just stupid. But what are you looking for? Any type of intelligence or any good wisdom or any direction from black males? They're fucking conquered mentally. Don't y'all get that? Conquered mentally, where everything in their life is trying to be like a white man. You know how they used to say, "Hey, I want to be like Mike. He want to be like Buck. He want to be like Tom. He want to be like Jack. He want to be like anybody he thinks is above him." They can't tell me shit. They cannot tell me shit. They can't even tell me, "Watch out, you about to fall." They can't tell me shit 'cause I ain't giving a fuck and I ain't listening. They're stupid. And everybody in the world knows it. That's why I told you when I found those channels of those other men talking about how fucking dumb they are for talking about their women and girls online, I'm like, I'm glad to see the rest of the world knows what I know. I'm very glad. A lot of those videos that I'm talking about, Pretty Black Magic, she posted the clips on her channel. So if you don't believe me, you can go watch her videos and she'll show you the Hispanic guy talking shit about him. There's a white dude and an Asian dude. It's real. They're all over the place coming out of the woodwork now. Because I guess as they get more acclimated to getting into uh, relationships with black women, marrying us and having children with us, I think they're starting to realize that all the shit that these asshole black dudes are telling them about us are simply completely not true. You know that saying, "Come visit me" is not like "come live with me." So I guess these men are realizing that you talking all this shit about black women, but you lying. Everything you done said about them is a fucking lie. Cause I'm married to one and I have children with her, and none of that shit you talking about is a reality. Not my reality, nor any of the ones that I've met. So that's what's happening. All right. So I'm gonna blow my nose again. So black. Okay, we read that one. She said worship the devil. They said some black building basket has been. They talk shit about the 4B movement because they know it's gonna make. They talk about the 4B movement because they know it's gonna make black women get to the point where they no longer allow these dudes in their house. And when they don't have access to black women in their wealth, it will be more of them on the streets living as bums and sleeping on the sidewalks and shit like that and going to jail so they can have a place to stay. They know that. So that's the reason why they condemn the 4B movement because they know it's going to contribute to their isolation by black women, and also black women feeling and realizing that they don't need these dudes in their life, and that if you actually want a man or you feel like you need one, you could get a better quality one from another race and live much better. Look at my daughter. I told you that dude, in my opinion, is a piece of shit, but that motherfucker always got money. He always takes care of his kids and my daughter. He just bought my daughter a car the other day. I seen them 4th of July. She was driving around a new minivan because she got 5 children, and she was complaining about the other car. So clearly, if black women want other men to take care of them and do for them the shit they do for their own women, then you don't need to be with black men, right? Give me one more minute for my nose. That's my opinion on it because, look, they was over here in this apartment building complex with me. She had a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom terrace, right? That shit cost 3,000 something $100 a month. That man was paying that shit. They lived in that apartment for like 4, maybe 5 years. They looked at a house they wanted to buy, but then he said, no, why don't we leave New York for a while? Let's go out west or something like that for a little while, try something else. Talk to me. Try something else for a little while. So at first they thought about California, but then when they looked at California, they didn't like the schools, right? So since it's 5 of them, he told her, he said, well, the fact that I got to pay all that money for rent, I'm not going to be able to make all that tuition, right? So granted, um, she said, okay, let's try another state. So they got a 5 bedroom, I think it's a duplex or townhouse, some shit in Texas. And then they called the other day to show me, like how you do the FaceTime. So they did like a virtual tour thing with me. It was a really nice house, upstairs, downstairs, really, really nice backyard. The front yard was good. She's gonna call me back and show me like what schools and stuff they're gonna go to when schools start there, and show me, how the kids put their room together. So I'm eager to see that, and probably when I get my next vacation, because in August, end of August, I tell y'all I'm going to London, but then I get another vacation in the end of September going into October. So I'll probably take a trip out there then to see the house and to see the kids and visit everybody, see how everybody's doing, how they get acclimated to their new state. But they're not going to stay there. She's doing what I did. I did that too when they was young. Like when they were young, and my first set of children, he was in the army, so he was stationed a couple of places. Me and my kids lived with him in wherever, what state in whatever country he was stationed in for the first 2 years, right? Then when my kids got to be like toddler to go to preschool, I brought them back home to New York City. They went to private school and everything here. And then when they got a little bit older, getting ready to go to junior high. Then we moved out west. We moved to Cali. We lived in Nevada. We lived a lot. We lived in Mesquite, Nevada. That shit was so beautiful. Oh my God, to this day. Shout out to all the black people in Mesquite, Nevada. Y'all made my life really beautiful. I loved it back then in the 90s. Yeah, right? So anyway, we had a good time. We would do the whole Cali, Nevada thing. Like on weekends when you live in California, most people go to Nevada. They go there to gamble. They go there to just like sightsee, do shit like that. Me and the kids would do that all the time because when your husband is in the military, sometimes they got to go away on weekends or go away for months at a time to do drills and training and etc. So me and the kids, we lived really good with that husband like that for a while. But then the second husband, we came back from the West Coast and we started living down south. We lived down there for a little while in Louisiana in my people's property and shit like that. And then when we found a place up here, we just moved up here. And then I stayed up here with them till I got rid of that husband and my kids went to college. When they went to college, then me by myself took the oldest group of kids and we moved to Miami Shores. And I left the other kids up here with sister, cousin, mom, grandma, all that stuff, while I stayed down there with them. And I came up here every now and then to visit them because I had to make sure when I put them kids in school down there, they wasn't going to fuck up my money and not fuck up their life. Because you know how kids go to school for the first year and they be drunken, drinking, acting stupid, messing up their GPA. That Barry University was way too expensive for me to be wasting my money. So I bought a little apartment down there and me and them stayed down there for the first 2 years and then I came back home. Even though during the first 2 years, I did come back for my younger kids because they need their mother too, but they had their father. But even still, and all of my people as well. But that's, so maybe she's gonna do some of the stuff I did because she did tell me that she wanted to take them around America and live in different states because she works remote, the father works remote, so they could live wherever the fuck they want. And and then I think the grandmother may go every now and then to be with them because her husband died. I told y'all that. So she stays with them from time to time to not be lonely. And they need their grandmother. Since I'm not there, they need some grandmother there. Because them fucking kids are bad. I told y'all that. They need their ass kicked and they need somebody to, like, straighten them out. Like, this is what it means to be black. This is what it means to be Turkish. Toe the line, do what's right, be respectful, you get slapped, get your teeth slapped out. That's how you gotta talk to kids. I'm fucking around. but but seriously, they need parental guidance, and the more the better. And then see, I ain't like how y'all think I am. I know my daughter's young. She need help with her children. She need to get a rest, a break. I get all that shit. Put them on the plane, send them back home, or I'll come over there, or I'll pay for some shit for her, and that's how we get down. We don't be doing all of that. I hate my daughter. I can't do shit for her. The money I got is for me and me alone. No, I spend money everywhere on everybody related to me if they need it because that's what family does. So when y'all was talking earlier in the chat, I know all that. It's just certain motherfuckers you gotta cut off the line after a while because they think that's all you supposed to be there for. I got a cousin right now. I can call her fucking name and be like, "Ain't that right, so and so?" Her ass with that fucking bum she lived with. Man, I could beat her so bad it wouldn't be funny. Beat some fucking sense into her. I'm like, girl, your children should not be living like this. What are you doing? So yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. I remember one time I came over there to visit. I was in Louisiana. I surprised her, right? So I came in. I knock on the door. They always keep the door open. So I go in. I call her name. She's like, oh, hey, all that. I go into the living room. He playing on the PlayStation while the kids in the room. I'm like, what? Why is he playing their shit and they not? What the fuck? That's type of ignorant shit I'm talking about, and y'all know it too, cause y'all know you got the bum ass, dumb ass relatives too. So I do know I ain't exempt from the bullshit. I'm black too, like everybody else. Just cause I don't live like that and refuse to get down like that, don't mean some people I'm related to just can't understand that you don't gotta have that life if you don't want to. You really don't. But you can't tell her nothing. Can't tell her nothing about that bum. Not a goddamn thing. She said, "Yeah, I think it was Charm School." Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. Let me go through. I'm going too slow on the comments. Let me hurry up. All right, these are the last few. So she said, "I know about Pace versus Alabama. Perez and Sharp. That's the one, Lucy. That's the one where I think it was like the second lawsuit when the dude was still enslaved. I believe that's the one. Cause that one rings a bell to me because I know that woman was a white Hispanic. I know that. I remember that because I think they had fought all the way from Mexico to America. That's Lucy put it in the chat for y'all. Y'all read up on this case law. She gave it to y'all. Pace versus Alabama, Perez versus Sharp, and McLaughlin and versus Florida. It's more. It's a whole bunch more. Like when you really go into all of them, it's like 20 cases in total. But if you have access to the law database, Lexis, I think it is. But when you have access to legal stuff, when you type it in, you'll see all the cases, every case, everything, even the ones that was thrown out, didn't have it. Just everything is there, and it's like 20 of them shits. But okay, so let's see. She said, "I am well. I don't know what that means. I'm cute. Um, Dems and Republicans both want Project 2025. That's why they let That's not why they let that happen. There's a lot of politics into what you got. You see, stop listening to people online about migration. I'm not going to sit here and profess to be an expert on migration because I'm not. But I do know that there are treaties in this world that America has to adhere to be part of the World Organization, the World Bank, all this type of stuff. And those international treaties must be honored. And that is the real reason why you have immigration and migration. Okay? Now, if you want to go look up the history on American international treaties and alliances, you'll find out much more than I know about why it is they have to have immigration and migration. But it is a fact that America must have that shit. It is built into what this country stands for worldwide. So if you think they're ever going to stop it 100%, they will not. Actually, I don't even think they're legally allowed to. But if you study that stuff I just spoke to you about, you'll find out more than I know. And I don't really care about it because as far as my people go, we never immigrated or migrated to this country, so I don't give a fuck about Ellis Island. I don't give a fuck about what it takes to get here because my people came here under duress, and the ones that were already here before the white people came, they just got absorbed with everybody else. So I don't give a fuck about immigration because it doesn't affect me in any way. Anyway, and it doesn't affect most black people because, like I said, when you look at the places where they put these people ain't getting nothing that you don't have. Not a damn thing. And some things you're entitled to, they can never have because they're not a citizen. So when you actually know the laws of your state and your city and you take advantage of all your programs, there's nothing to complain about. Because the black people have so much more access to capital than people think. But it's because we don't never utilize it and do the things we're supposed to do to take advantage of it. You can't be getting mad when other programs are created for other people and you just sit there letting yours waste away. You can't do that. Like for every black person, there's a college your ass can be enrolled in. Why you still sitting at home on the couch is your business and your decision alone. But if you go to that college and you actually get the education you need to get the documents you need, the credentials, you could walk out of that school making six figures or just about less than six figures. That's all on you. You could do the same thing with a business school, a trade school, or anything else. So I don't have no issues with migration or none of that shit. I don't have issues with that because I know that when I want something and I go get it and I'm in the position to get it, ain't nobody stopping me. And if I think I'm being um, looked over for somebody else, because of the laws that exist today, and hopefully they stay past this election, I could always go to a federal agency and make sure I get a chance if my chance is given to somebody else. I could always go, hey, wait a minute. I went there first. And they said no to me, but gave it to them. Federal government created to protect black people in America. You need to look into this, which is the Department of Justice, and make sure that I get my fair shake at shit. And then there you go. That's why I don't buy into that. You got to think outside of that. Think about all the external factors and all the other things that go into that. That one thing is not enough alone. Believe me, I don't think you will ever live in a country where everybody will have everything else going on for them and black people just the only group of people sitting off to the side with nothing going on for them these days and time because black people too violent. Ain't nobody going for that. Not even I would go for that shit. And I don't advocate violence. But I be goddamn if you gonna make laws and everybody else have shit and I don't. What? Nah. So I don't even think about stuff like that. All right, last couple. I think Slime, you referring to that stupid dude, whatever the fuck his name is over there with the half white wife. Um Let me see what his name is again, because I know all of a sudden he's becoming popular, and he shouldn't be. People should already throw him in the trash by now. Tariq Nasheed. Like, I noticed all of a sudden he's becoming popular again. I don't have any idea why, because there's nothing that he's talking about that actually should be of any concern to black women or that makes any sense to us, because he never he doesn't give black women any accolades. He's always like basically talking down on us and bigging up other women who are not like us. So I don't even understand why black women listen to him. It's the same thing as all those other black dudes. Like, if they don't have nothing good to say about you, why do you even give a fucking they exist? Like, that would be a person I would never listen to, because he has nothing to teach me, nothing to tell me, nothing I care about that he's saying. So I would never go on his channel, never even go to find. I don't care about them dudes. Like, nope. If all you doing is talking trash about me, I'm not gonna pay you a view or pay you a cash app or whatever to insult me. I'm not gonna do that, because number one, I don't need to be insulted by you, because whoever his mama is, if she didn't decide to bring that nigga in this world, he wouldn't be here. So the last thing you need to be doing is bigging up some half white bitch over the black women who actually cared enough to bring you into existence. They are stupid, extremely. And I need to go upstairs because I need to do a treatment or something, because I cannot breathe under these trees. Let me show you on my chair. It's really nice. Wait. See my chair? Able to have my little umbrella above me and my footrest, so I'm happy. All right, I'm gonna go. I appreciate y'all spending your time with me on your Sunday on both my lives. One that was rudely now, it's because I can't breathe. All right, y'all take care. Be well. Please do things that work in the best interest of black women, because when we think about each other collectively, we make individually each other's lives better. Okay. All right. Remember, vote as a block, vote Democratic, so that we can ensure our rights. Have a good day. Bye bye.